So Misty says, what do you recommend for prostate cancer?
First thing I recommend for people with prostate cancer, see a urologist, because what you want to do is no matter what you do, in God we trust, all others must have data. So whatever you're doing, you need to be able to see if you can quantify whether or not it's helping you. Dean Ornish wrote a great paper, and in Dean's paper, he talked about those people that he put through a kind of an abbreviated part of his program where they did meditation and yoga and they did plant-based eating. And he was able to show that some of the genes that were responsible for turning on cancer were turned off with this lifestyle plus the food, eating plant-based. So I am, I don't need anybody to convince me. I know. I'm not talking about what somebody told me. I've seen the evidence. And if you don't want to believe it, that's up to you. But don't think you're going to eat bad all your life, have 2 vegan meals and everything is going to be fine. No. You make a decision to have the same discipline you had eating good that you did when you were eating bad.
I love that. I love that. You mentioned you have a grandson. I'm curious, have anyone in your family adopted your healthy way of eating over the years?
Not yet. My kids are all younger. My kids, my grandkids, and my great grandkids, they're all they do some they eat, let me just put it this way, they eat more vegetables than they used to. And that's okay. The one thing you shouldn't do is beat people up, because you catch more flies with honey, you know? And so what you do is you show people how they can begin the journey, even doing what they're doing. No one, a salad is one of the best ways to start. And just use the stuff you like to eat. I told you some of the stuff I like, and I put nuts in my salad, and I put, fruits in my salad. I put, all this kind of stuff. And the other things are soups. Soups are easy. You can do vegetarian soups really, really, really easy. And there's some places that make some good soups. And I like things like navy bean soup. I love the navy bean soups that are made in a number of the vegan restaurants. And you didn't get this way in a day. It's going to take more than a day to get out of this. Just be persistent. Believe in yourself and in the food that comes out of God's pharmacy, because it will make a difference. And we've got to remember those meat pieces, the cheese, the eggs, the cheese, and the poultry, and all that stuff gets converted to TMAO, which is one of the most potent inflammatory agents. And so if you want to decrease your TMAO, all you got to do is just start eating the stuff that comes out of the ground. And if it walks, hops, crawls, flies, swims, got eyes in the mommy and daddy, you might want to rethink it.
I love that line. And you made it up yourself. It wasn't scripted.
No, it just happened. That was God's line.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Well, Renee says she loves you, Dr. Mason, and Lynn says you look amazing. Yeah, I'm curious, when you're home and on days you're not going to one of the wonderful restaurants in Chicago, like, what do you eat for a day when it's just you in charge of you?
Well, I always start out with my smoothie in the morning, always with tons of blueberries. If I got raspberries, I'll put them in there. I'll put kale in there. I'll put spinach in there. I put my Dr. Udo's blend of omega-3, 6, and 9. It's a special blend that I get. It's a plant-based blend. And I use my pea-based protein powder and water. And that's what I eat in the morning. If I'm going to be at home, or if I'm go to a restaurant, I actually go someplace I can get what I want. And most of the time, I'm going to go to a couple places. One of the things I find that I like a lot are soups, and I love a good lentil soup. And they make a wonderful lentil soup that I pour over basmati rice at this particular Mediterranean restaurant that I like to go to. And I'm going to learn to make the soup myself, because that is soup, and you do soup with beans and you got a meal. You got a complete meal.
Yep.
You got what you need, and water and And just keep stuff simple, guys. Don't try and make it hard. Just keep it simple. And wherever you can, just eat the food naturally. They call that a salad.
Did you ever hear of veganism or a vegan diet before you started eating healthfully? Was it just something that wasn't on your radar?
Wasn't on my radar. I mean, I was a guy that ate a steak every day. What are you talking about? I didn't think about eating vegan. I had a porterhouse. I used to go get my porterhouses cut every week, 7 at a time. And I ate a lot of, and then my favorite fish was salmon. I used to eat a lot of salmon. And but that was then, this is now.
Yeah.
And the mind change, and the change is here. If you don't make the change here and here, it won't be permanent.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's a nice comment from Nita. She says, Dr. Mason seems so calm and peaceful. This diet must be good for the spirit as well.
It is. It is, because you got to remember, if you remember watching the movie Food Inc., you remember seeing those cows getting ready to get slaughtered, or the chickens getting ready to get slaughtered. Don't think the cow or the chicken behind the cow or the chicken that just got slaughtered don't think they didn't know it was about to happen. They communicated some sort of way. And all of those hormones got shot into as they were feeling the pain or going through the torture of their death. All these catecholamines got pushed out into their bloodstream. And we eat that. That stuff was in their bloodstream, and we're eating that as we eat the meat. How potent it still is because you cook it or what have you. But just remember, guys, I used to tell the guys, there's a picture that I have as a slide that has this place with all these smoked sausages and hams and steaks and all that stuff. And I used to tell the guys, all the manly places to eat will rob you of your manhood.